meme that I found today. Isn't it hilarious?
Yeah.
Look, Mom.
I don't think you should show your father that.
Oh, it'll be fine. Look, Dad. Why that face?
I don't understand. If you're so depressed, why are you so sad? Like, why are you trying to make your sad something? Stop trying to make it something it's not.
I can joke about this. It's not just because I can use humor doesn't mean I'm not depressed.
I just don't understand how you can be so depressed and so anxious if you have this perfect life that I provided for you.
Well,
I worked my butt off for you.
What's the point of me being serious about it if you're never going to take me serious?
I don't think it's real if you're joking about it.
This perfect life, okay, this is just some feelings that I can't express sometimes, and I don't know why I'm feeling this way.
Guys, no need to fight.
You know what? I can't even have this conversation right now. I need to take a break.
Denise,
No, I can't have this conversation right now. Gosh, that conversation did not go as I expected it. It was so frustrating. Dad can be so stubborn sometimes.
Yeah, he really can.
I think I just need to try and be a little bit more mindful too, kind of control my emotions. I heard that meditation can really help with that, so maybe I'll have to do some of that. I need to feel calm and centered. Just managing my emotions, specifically my anger.
Yeah, I mean, we can try to meditate every morning, and I think it would be good if you meditated before you had the conversation with Dad. It might help.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe some of the things that I learned in class the other day. It's called the happiness advantage and the appreciative inquiry. So the happiness advantage is basically like the way that you see yourself and others. So kind of having like a different mindset. And I thought about how I could totally use this for my conflict with Dad. You know, if I go in with such a negative attitude, it'll probably come out with like a negative outcome. And then appreciative inquiry, it's basically the way that you see other people. And if I'm always thinking of Dad in such a negative light, even though he does all like these wonderful things for you and I, it's always going to be a negative outcome. So I should just change the way that I think about Dad when entering this conflict.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to use these tools.
Yeah, you should.
Hey Dad, what's up?
and nothing much, just reading.
I was wondering if you just had some time to talk right now.
Sure. About what?
Yeah. Just the conversation that we had the other night at the dinner table. It didn't go exactly as planned, so I was just wondering if we could talk about it now.
Okay, sure. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I know that you have some strong feelings and opinions about how I'm feeling, and I just kind of wanted to get your input on it and, how you're feeling about it.
Okay. Well, it hurts me to see you so sad.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because I try so hard to give you everything and give you the best life, the life I didn't have growing up. And it just hurts to see you so sad.
Yeah. No, I hear you, and I totally understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, and I understand that you're coming from a totally different culture, and this is kind of a different aspect, especially mental health for you. So I get where you're coming from, but sometimes when you say things, it can be really, really hurtful, and you kind of make me feel worse about the situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you hurt me because I came from nothing, nothing, Denise, and I gave you everything, and to see you not happy.
Yeah. But Dad, sometimes I just need you to validate my feelings. Sometimes.
I get that.
Yeah.
We all feel sad sometimes.
Yeah. No. Definitely. And I was wondering if we could just find a slot in the week that we could spend some time together, and that way I can catch you up on what's going on in my life, and you can tell me what's going on, and we could spend some quality time together.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could get dinner sometime.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta go to the gym later. You wanna come with me?
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. We'll go
All
to the gym.
right. Awesome. Thanks, Dad. The first strategy I decided to use was active listening, and I wanted to do this because I wanted to eliminate the over-talking my father and I usually do. The second strategy I decided to use was OFNR, and for observations, I made sure to observe his feelings and his culture and validating those things. For feelings, I wanted to tell him that I understood his feelings, but I also needed him to understand mine. And for need, I told him that sometimes I just need my feelings to be validated and for him to listen to me. And for the request, I suggested that we hang out more often so that we can really understand each other more. And the third one I decided to use was to take a break before I let my emotions take over and say something I would regret. For the fourth strategy, I decided to use 2 of the 8 steps. The first one being be mindful, self-aware, and meditate. Specifically, meditation, because when you meditate, it helps you become more mindful and self-aware. And feel kind of ties in with that. When you become more mindful and self-aware, then you learn to manage your emotions better. You learn your triggers and your thresholds, and you react differently to things because you know your triggers and your thresholds. For the 5th one, I decided to use the happiness advantage, and specifically for this situation, instead of constantly seeing everything in a negative light, it changes your perspective on life, and it makes you have a different outlook on life. And for the 6th one, I decided to use the appreciative inquiry, and this one kind of ties in with the happiness advantage, but this is specifically to that person, so you're always seeing the best in the person, because if you're constantly thinking of the negatives in the person, it's going to also come out in a negative way.